In this week's archaeological news, my lead story is about the enormous megalithic complex discovered in Spain, which includes more than 500 standing stones, as well as dolmens, cists, and prehistoric enclosures. The only other Neolithic site which is more extensive than this is Carnac in France. So this is a really important find. In this video, I also talk about the recent paper on the rare rock crystals that have been found in Neolithic burial mounds in the British Isles, and the results of several other interesting excavations. Massive megalithic site discovered in Spain. An archaeological survey carried out in the Huelva province in Spain as part of the approval process for an avocado plantation has revealed a megalithic site that's not only huge in size, but also in importance. The site, known as Torre-La probably dates back to the 6th or 5th millennium BCE. Remarkably, the different types of megaliths discovered are in good condition. This site includes 526 standing stones measuring between 1 and 3 meters in height, dolmens, mounds, cists, and enclosures. Not all of the standing stones are still upright. A report on the discovery has been published in the journal Trabajo de Prehistórica. If you can read Spanish, I've put a link in the description below. The vast majority of the menhirs were found to be arranged in 26 alignments, with others forming 2 stone circles, which are normally referred to as cromlechs when located on the Iberian Peninsula. These alignments are situated on slopes or on the top of prominent elevations and are oriented either northwest to southeast, north to south, or east to west. The 2 cromlechs are sited on the top of hills and have clear views of the equinoctial and solstitial sunrises, so may have been positioned there on purpose for astronomical reasons. Some of the standing stones are engraved. The 3 main types of decoration are cup marks, geometric motifs, and incised circles. As well as the 526 standing stones, there are 475 stones referred to in the paper as supports, as well as 55 cavities which would have held stones originally. It's thought that the dolmens, mounds, and cists are funerary monuments, probably also associated with commemorative rituals. 22 quarries have been identified where the megaliths were extracted from, and these sites are associated with prehistoric tools. Further study will help the researchers to understand more about the quarrying techniques used. Since many of the megaliths are buried, an excavation is planned which will last until 2026. Visits to the site will also be organised between now and the next dig. Neolithic people marked burial mounds with rock crystals. A collaboration between archaeologists from the University of Manchester, the University of Cardiff, and Herefordshire County Council has revealed purposefully placed rock crystals in Neolithic long burial mounds. Excavating at Dorston Hill in Herefordshire, a site which was made up of timber halls, a causewayed enclosure, and burials, the researchers found carefully knapped transparent quartz deposited in mounds. This type of large hexagonal quartz is rare in the British Isles and appears to have been used at the burial site for more than 300 years. The nearest places where crystals with that level of purity can be found are Snowdonia and St David's Head in Wales, so the Neolithic inhabitants of Dorston Hill must have transported the gems over 100 kilometres to the burial site because they were significant to them. This isn't the first time that these rock crystals have been found at prehistoric sites in the British Isles, but it's the first time a research paper has been written on them. According to the paper, 2 Mesolithic assemblages were found in the past on the Isle of Jura, comprising 273 and 146 pieces of rock crystal. Others have been excavated from the Neolithic tombs of Achnacribig in Scotland, Parc le Brios in Wales, and Kilnagons Lower in Ireland. There are also several Neolithic examples associated with timber houses, including within the foundations, which might suggest a ritual deposit at the time the building was constructed. 337 pieces of rock crystal were recovered in total from the Dorston Hill site, which makes it probably the largest such assemblage found so far. The 3 long burial mounds where they were discovered had been created in 3 layers, with a burnt daub and timber inner section covered in earth with a stone cairn over the top. Collapsed wooden buildings would have produced the inner cores of the mounds. When the site was excavated between 2011 and 2019, 2,686 pieces of chipped stone were found, the majority of which were flint. The archaeologists also excavated polished axes. In the recent paper, the researchers conducted an analysis of the rock crystal and concluded that Dawston Hill was the site of an organized crystal reduction process. So that, together with the large transport distances involved, showed that the quartz was very important to the Neolithic inhabitants of the area. It's possible that it was valued because of its rare appearance and form, or because of the impressive landscapes where it was quarried from. Other cultures around the world have attributed certain powers and connections to rock crystal, so it's possible similar ideas evolved in the British Isles during the Neolithic. Gold rings discovered in an ancient grave in Romania. Archaeologists excavating at a road construction site in Bihor County, Romania, uncovered 3 Neolithic, 2 Bronze Age, 2 Roman and 2 medieval sites. But one of the most remarkable finds was a Copper Age grave belonging to the Tizapolga culture, who inhabited the area between 4500 and 4000 BCE. According to an announcement by the Torre-La Museum, the burial site belonged to a high-status woman who was buried with 169 gold rings that would have been hair ornaments, a spiral copper bracelet, 2 gold beads, and 800 bone beads. Samples from the site will now be sent to laboratories to get accurate radiocarbon dating for the burial, as well as to conduct a DNA analysis. Portable goddess idol excavated from Yassıtepe in Turkey. A marble idol dating back 5,000 years and measuring around 6 centimeters in height has been uncovered during the ongoing excavations at Yassıtepe within the Yassıtepe Höyük site in Turkey. Archaeologists think the idol depicts a mother goddess and was carried around to bring fertility and health. The idol will now be sent to the Izmir Archaeology Museum. Yassıtepe Höyük, located in the Bornova district of Izmir, has been under excavation since 2005 under Associate Professor Zafer Derin from Ege University. The site was inhabited between 6,500 and 4,000 BCE before being abandoned. It was then resettled later, so archaeologists at the site have uncovered finds from multiple time periods. Neolithic female figurine discovered at Ulucak Höyük in Turkey. A small clay female figurine has been discovered at Ulucak Höyük in the Kemalpaşa district of Izmir in Turkey. The figurine is thought to date back 7,800 years and to have been used in fertility rituals. This is the first find so far this year at the site of Ulucak Höyük, the earliest parts of which date back 8,850 years. Previous excavations have revealed the remains of prehistoric houses belonging to early farmers. It's a multi-period site with finds also dating to the Roman period and the Bronze Age. The 8 centimeter high figurine is a rare find due to its excellent condition. Similar broken versions have been discovered in the past. So what do you think of the news this week? That megalithic site in Spain has made me realize just how many could still be undiscovered. When I did my video on the Karnak alignments in France, some of the questions I asked were, if it was a giant Neolithic astronomical observatory, then why was it so unusual? No other site has 3,000 standing stones, so what role did other megalithic sites on the Atlantic coast play in relation to it? But maybe it wasn't that unusual. Perhaps there are many more sites where vast numbers of standing stones are laid out in alignments. They just haven't been discovered yet. And maybe these alignments all had a similar function. I also did a video on the Almendras cromlech in Portugal, which is one of the largest megalithic complexes on the Iberian Peninsula. But even that has only 95 stones, so far less than this latest impressive discovery. The use of rock crystals in Neolithic burial mounds is rather interesting. I don't think it was just to do with how unusual they were or how attractive they looked. The ancients must have thought they had some sort of magical properties which would be useful in the afterlife. But then that makes me wonder why they aren't found in all graves from the same time period. It's not as if it was simply a practice that was unique to one community in the British Isles. As the paper says, there are a few examples of it in different geographic areas. Perhaps now this paper is being published, more evidence of the practice will come to light. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Please hit the like button and leave me a comment. Come and find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram if you want more ancient history content. I post there quite a bit. Thank you very much to my patrons. The link to my Patreon is in the description below. Also, take a look at my website for more information on the sites I visit myself and the articles that I write. It's megalithhunter.com.